turn this over to Dan. What I'll do every so often, I'll click it over so that everybody can see. But if you put it on speaker view, then you'll get to see Dan more, I would have thought, rather than seeing everybody else doing it.
I'm going to do that.
Cool. Go for it, Joe.
There's a lot to cover on this, and we're going to do it in a very short space of time. So what we're going to do is just look at the gross movement of it first before we start looking at any of the small bits. So what I'll do is I'll do a run through of the whole kata, and then we'll start moving through bit by bit. So I'm going to have to try and work out the range on this so you can see what I'm doing, and obviously I'll come forward to show you some of the smaller movements underneath. So just as a quick run through first of the whole kata so you can see what we're going to do and how we're going to end up, hopefully. So that's the whole kata as it stands. There are some short forms in there which I'll go through, and hopefully I'll try and explain as we move through what each step of the kata represents, so you've got an idea of what the story of the kata is. So starting off with some very small bits first, our hand positions. So we're here, so our thumbs are inside and our knuckles, so we're forming sharp pointy objects at the front and sharp pointy objects at the side. And the idea behind this would be that if you were in the laminate armour, there'd be a roping here so you could adjust the tension on the ropes and adjust the strength on the armour and where the armour plates were. So that would be as if you were holding that roping. So start, feet together, right? Come into yours. So we bring our hands here and just relax at the knees, back straight. So we are literally almost semi-seated here in your position. When we start, we're going to bring our hands around here. This is symbolic. So the actual movement will be here. So you're looking at bringing your heels of your palms together on your opponent's elbow as if they've got you here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right, so someone's got us here as if they've got a side of the breastplate, and we're stepping back on our right foot, bringing our hands in a large circle and striking into the elbow.
Ah, yeah.
Yes, we're stepping back, we're striking, drawing their balance and striking in at the elbow. Our hands come back to here, so our left hand is pointing forwards, thumb points forwards. And our right hand is flat as if we've got a weapon here that we're resting our hand on. Our left hand is going to come up as if we're striking into that elbow. And our right hand is going to come into a guard position here. And we're going to strike down. So we're going to strike from here, we're going to strike up past, and then come back down on the outside of that elbow again. And this hand is going to make a big arc coming up here. And we're looking at striking under the helmet guard, under the chin. So striking up to force our opponent's head up.
Got an issue. I keep hitting my ceiling.
Say again?
I keep hitting my ceiling.
If your ceiling is very low, you might have to drop that arc slightly. But the idea is this is throwing your arm so that gravity actually takes that. The idea is to use as little energy in doing this as possible. So if you're on a battlefield and you're fighting for hours, you don't want to be wasting energy. So this is allowing the weight of your armour and gravity to take that through. And it's not muscle movement. And as this comes through, we step forwards. So from the beginning, from our yoi position, stepping back on our right, Left hand facing forward, right hand flat, guard up, hand up. So this comes together here.
Oh,
Then coming back down with our left, stepping forwards, spinning that right arm through to come up under the chin. And as that comes through, we're trying to bring that so our thumb rests just above our third eye here. So we can see past our arm, but by having this here, we obscure ourselves to our opponent. Don't know why it does something weird to the brain when you try and look past someone's arm. Okay? Does that make sense so far?
Can we take it from
Cool.
the top?
So from the top, stepping back. 1, striking up. 2, striking down, coming forward with a big cartwheel through here. Then this hand is going to come forward. So now that we've knocked that head upwards, we're going to take advantage of that. While the head's in that upward position, we're going to send this back and we're going to break the nose. And this hand comes back around to here. Right, so from the top, that looks here. So this right hand where you can't, left hand where you can't see it, I'll do it this way so you can see it. It's coming out. I'm going to move this way so I don't kill my light. Comes out and back down. So we're striking that arm again that's still got the breastplate. Okay, so do you want to see that again?
yes.
Right, so I'm going to face this way so you can watch it side on. So we step back, striking back down the elbow. Under the chin, breaking the nose, striking the arm. This right hand comes back to guard our head. And this left hand comes back to its position, facing forward on our hip. So, try that again from the top, working through it slowly together. Any questions, please shout them out. Stepping back. Guard up, striking the elbow. Down, striking the elbow. Coming forwards, striking under the chin, knocking the head up. Hand coming forward, breaking the nose. Hand coming back around, striking the elbow. This hand makes that other side of the wheel and comes back into guard. So we're always guarding this side of our head. So remember, we're on a battlefield. If there's anyone coming from that side, I want to be able to move or block, or at least protect my head on this side. So
Oh dear, I'm normally quite well coordinated.
say again.
I'm normally quite well coordinated, but not tonight.
Right, so our left hand, we're now going to rotate our body so we make a very thin profile, and this left hand is going to come across to our right hip, as if we're reaching for something at our waist.
Which foot is forward? Left foot, right foot forward.
Left foot is currently forwards. So with this mostly, if I have struck with the right foot is forwards. If I've moved backwards and struck with the left, then my left foot is forwards.
I'm left out.
So the bit we're going to look at now, this left hand. So we pull our body, so if they've still got hold here, we're going to extend that arm. So if I've got you there and you turn away, so I have to try and visualize this a bit. If I've got hold of your breastplate, and you turn that shoulder away, you're going to lock that arm out.
Yeah, got that, yeah.
Yeah. We turn here. And the object of this is to either get something from a pouch, dust, stones, anything we've got, or make them think we're getting something. Because this is going to come back at eye level, as if we're going to throw something in the eye. The idea is to make them, as that arm releases off, for them to go as if we're attacking the eyes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right, so from the beginning,
Yeah.
back on the right. So when we're doing it and we haven't got a lot of room, instead of giving the whole big movement, what we can do is just make a small movement here to symbolise or signify we're making that attack. Up, left hand down, right hand circling forwards, striking up. Attacking the nose, attacking the elbow. So as that comes down, we draw off that line, bring our left hand to the right hip, striving forward towards the eyes.
What's that called, Dan?
It's a Mitsubishi, so it's a distraction.
Well done.
We're not actually making that as a strike. It's not an atemi. We're not going to try and come in up the side of the head. What we're doing is we're doing that Mitsubishi, we're doing that distraction as if we're going to throw something in the eyes, because what we're really attacking is that arm. So we're coming in and this hand will be striking up behind that elbow. So we're actually knocking that arm free of our breastplate now. As that hand comes back, we just manipulate our weight onto that back foot. So as we throw forwards with our Mitsubishi, we throw our weight forward and our weight comes onto our front foot, our left foot. Mitsubishi, strike the arm, freeing it from that grip. Settle backwards to give ourselves some space. And this arm, this left arm, is at 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and 90 degrees at the top. So from the other side, we're here. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so again, I'm going to repeat this and we'll do it step by step and go again back to the beginning. So from the top, Yui, stepping back on the right, making that circle. Left hand pointing forwards, right hand flat on the hip. And again, this, we're not stepping back and being wide because we're presenting too much of a target. So when we step back, we try to narrow our position, make ourselves less of a target.
Well, I can't do that.
Right, right foot back, left hand striking up past the elbow, coming back down, so you're striking the elbow, bicep on the way back down, right hand, big circle round, under the jaw, forcing the head up, smashing the nose, left hand striking the bicep again. Dropping our weight back onto our right foot at the back, left hand coming across, grabbing fluff, or as Renshi used to say, it's like grabbing fluff, armpit fluff. Coming back across and throwing it Mitsubishi towards our opponent. So as we throw that hand forward, our weight comes forward. Here. When we come back, give ourselves that space. Left hand is going to rotate over. So we've become like a snake. That snake is going to come forwards and drive towards your opponent's eyes. And the reason for this is if they're wearing one of the nice Japanese helmets with the full face mask, you've got very few openings to strike. So you don't want to turn that hand over and try and strike into the face because there's really going to be nowhere to go with that. So the only place you've got is to strike at the eyes. So from the top, right foot back, thumbs up, circling through, under the jaw, breaking the nose, back into guard, back down left hand side. Coming across, Mitsubishi forwards, turn back, hand over, strike at the eyes. So as we strike at the eyes, to give ourselves that driving range and close that distance with our opponent, our front foot stays where it is, our left foot stays where it is, and our right foot closes.
So it's not moose horns, it's snake venom.
Say again.
It's not moose horns, it's snake venom. We're getting them with snakes. I remember that.
Yeah. If it helps you remember, excellent. So as it drives forward, again, this right hand is coming out. And the reason being is if we're coming forwards, this actually keeps our weight balanced forwards. It also means if there's anything coming in here, we're in a battlefield, it gives me an area clear. I can then, again, use it defensively on this side. But I was told that was actually as a part of keeping that balance here. So your arms are actually facing the same way your feet are. Hands are going to come back to the hips. Here, and this time both thumbs are pointing outwards. I'll step back so you can see my feet. Left foot is going to come up. So drive forwards, hands back, left foot up. What we're going to do is we're going to kick. The reason for this, I've been told two reasons. One is that you're striking at the knee. However, if I'm on a battlefield and I've had hold of you and you've just broken my grip, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a weapon. I'm going to go here. And the first time we were taught this kata, I was told you're either kicking at the arm or the hilt to prevent that draw. Validity of either one is reasonable, but if you look at some of the older Yagyu Shingan Ryu stuff, the kick doesn't actually come to here. They actually bring that kick, once they've brought those hands back in, that kick actually comes under the jaw. I will go with one that I was first taught by Kono Sensei and Sensei Peter Klein, which is that kick is coming to here. Once that kick's come out, these hands are going to come up, striking up and cutting down. So thinking about the armour, those hands cutting up are coming up above the breastplate, but below the chin guard and the neck. So you're actually cutting in at the clavicle here where you've got that space to break through. So there's no point going for the solid mass of the breastplate. And there's no point trying to go anywhere outside of the helmet. So you need to find that weakness, which is only going to be where you've got the chin strap. And again, that open, semi-open part around the neck. So you're coming upwards here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Rhiannon said knock knock.
Oh, Clive, Rhiannon said knock knock.
Who's there, Rihanna?
Just a bit late, we're nearly done. Right, so it's a good job she already knows this, so
Did
right.
you know it rang?
Not me, Clive's managing it all. Right, so
Does she know that?
I do
so
now.
from the top,
I thought
while
you
you're
were just
in position.
cracking a joke. Here we go.
stepping back on the right,
Hopefully you're all in now.
so left hand striking up,
Up to that.
right hand circling through under chin. Coming back, striking at the nose, coming back. And across, Matsubishi forwards. Left hand folds over. Nose strike forwards. Hands back, up. Striking up and cutting down. So when you cut down, you're aiming to cut again into that open space between the top of the breastplate. And you're aiming again for a very small space. And we're landing in a long horse stance. So it looks like we're quite open, but we've come here. Everyone got that?
First.
Don't know. Right, so from here, this hand is going to come up and we're going to lunge forward. So this is actually not a strike, it's, again, it's a Mitsubishi, it's a distraction because the strike is the elbow.
I think we're getting
And you're aiming to strike that elbow. Sorry, I can't hear the background, it's all kind of muffly, so I'm just going to carry on.
There's an echo from Rhiannon and you.
What about her?
We're getting an echo from Rhiannon's. It's coming through yours and out of Rhiannon's and echoing round.
Okay, give me 1 moment. I have this phone around somewhere. I've got my way down for the moment.
There's always one. It's usually me though.
Makes a change for it not to be me or you, doesn't it, Clive?
It does.
Better, we can hear you better now. Thank you, Rhiannon.
Thank you, dear. Oh God!
Oh, I didn't get a word of that, didn't I? Right. So again, any questions on what we've gone through so far that you want clarifying?
A little bit, please.
Thanks, Jim. So you've got 3 weeks to learn this, Jim. You'll do fine.
We're doing all right because I was only expecting to get maybe halfway through the overall thing in the first week, so we're doing all right.
Yeah, it's good. I'm very new at this.
Don't worry, I still haven't got it right, and I've been doing it for 12 years. So. Right, so right, you're in position, stepping back. I'm going to do it this way so you can actually see what I'm doing crosswise as well. So you step back, right hand flat, left hand facing forwards, striking up. Left hand comes back down, right hand, big circle, under the chin, sending back forward, striking with the nose. Left hand, big circle round. Left hand coming across to the right. Mitsubishi forwards. That's Mitsubishi, not Mitsubishi as in the car. Left hand over and striking snake-wise at the eyes. Hands come back into the hip. Left foot up. Kick. Striking up. Cutting down. Elbow forward towards that chest area. So if I come across here, here, leaning forward. And if you look at the moment, we're doing this quite short. Traditionally, as you come up and down, you'd make that a really long, a very long stance as that comes in and strike towards. Yeah. So you're putting that whole long stance, stability, and really driving that elbow into the chest. From here, our left hand is going to come from my head, and it's going to replace where our elbow was in the chest. And this hand here is going to come forwards, and we're going to step, drive ourselves forwards off of our right foot.
Can't see it.
And our hand's going to come together. So what we're doing is 1, 2, 3 impacts on the heart. So what we're looking at doing is disrupting the heartbeat of our opponent. In effect, trying to cause a heart attack by creating an irregular rhythm.
You strike him with your palm down, you strike him with the knuckle still.
So elbow to the chest, palm into the chest, and this hand is going to join onto the back of your own, so you're going to drive through your hand.
Oh, right, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That bit I can do.
While we're here, we'll just do that, the last bit as well, and then go from the top. From here, Our left hand is going to come down. Our right hand is going to come up. We're going to step back. Left, right, left. Now that last bit is, again, a bit like the beginning where we do that small circle. It's a symbolic effort. This, because the symbology in this is from our position here. We're going to drive this hand forwards and up. And this hand is going to come down and then up. So we're here, our position. And the idea behind that is we've struck the chest. We drive their weight off of their heels and over the back to start tipping their balance. This hand draws underneath at the back of the leg, and we're going to tip them up and smash their head into the floor.
Cool.
Nice. But hey, it is a battlefield, they asked for it.
Yeah.
So our symbolic effort of this, before we step back, is actually from here. It's this. You can see the hand position is here. Or here. Make sense?
Yep.
Right. So from the top to the end. Fit together. Ready? Stepping back on the right. It's also right hand up to guard the head. Left hand striking up past the bicep. Coming back down, striking the bicep. Right hand round under the chin. And back to above your third eye. Right hand striking forwards and coming down, smashing that face guard over the nose, aiming to break the nose. Left hand, big circle, back round, striking the bicep. Turning at the hips and bringing that left hand across to the right. Mitsubishi towards the eyes, breaking the grip. Left hand over, striking at the eyes, bringing the feet together to close your range when you can. Hands coming back in at the hips, up, kick, striking up the clavicle, and back down the clavicle. Elbow strike to the chest. Palm strike to the chest. Palm strike to the chest. Right hand up, left hand down. Stepping back on the left, back on the right, close with the left. How do you think you can do with that on your own?
I think we've got time for one more, and then we're going to run out of timer, Dan.
Okay, so one more through together, and then next week we can look at anything you want to clear up and work on it.
I think we're going to need to finesse it.
It's going to need a lot of finessing. Like I said, I've been practicing this one for 12 years. So, right. Yoi. Back on the right. Small circle. Striking up. Striking back down past the elbow. Big circle round, striking up, under the chin. Back to the nose. Stepping back. Striking the bicep. Turning our weight off. Left hand to the right hip. Mitsubishi forwards. Settle back. Left hand over, striking towards the eyes. Hands back to the hip. Foot comes up. Kick. So you're aiming your kick here, as if your opponent is going for a weapon. Got that weapon. Strike. Up. Down into a long horse stance. Elbow to the chest. Elbow to the chest. Point. Left hand down. Right hand up. Back on the left. Back on the right. Close. Yoink. So
Perfect.
that is the first kata of 7.
Well, we've got 3 weeks to do them. No problems.
Well, strangely enough, The first kata, this one actually encloses the majority of the other katas as well. So for the second kata, there's one modification. And that is, instead of starting here, we start here. So if someone's got hold of you both sides of your breastplate, striking up one arm, back down, breaking that grip. Then going into kata number one.
Excellent.
So by learning this one first, we get an easy route into the second kata. And then the third kata. Then fourth kata. So by learning the long one first, by learning if I may first, we can then get the first four katas really quickly.
Just taking the bits from the first one and putting them into the others, we should get it an awful lot quicker.
Absolutely. And so to give you some context for the other katas, the second kata comes from a double grab. So someone's got hold of both sides of your breastplate. Strike first arm, break the grip. Work on the next one, move around. Again, if someone's got both sides of your breastplate, coming up the middle. So you're actually working, it's the same as we teach the children in that part of technique number 4. So you're coming up. Now, in fact, it's technique number 2. 1, 2, children's techniques, breaking grip. So we're doing the same thing.
Are you quite happy if I send them all the video that you did in the Bedford dojo of you doing the kata so that they can all practice it for next week, Dan?
I don't have an issue with that.
Excellent.
Thanks, Dan.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Write it down, guys. I'll pop you all a copy of the video, or I'll put it on our page so you can see it, so you can practice it. You're welcome to message me. I'm sure you're welcome to message Dan with anything. Well, I won't be able to answer it, but I know the people who will. And then we'll get it all sorted, and then next week.
That would be me.
Yeah, we can pick it up from here next week, so we've saved all that time. But the important bit, as always, write it down, draw it before you forget. Whatever sticks it in there, so whether it's moose hands, snake fingers, the weapon, stopping them drawing the weapon by kicking that, whatever makes you remember it, write it down. It looks like code, but it means no one can steal it. So, all right? Excellent. Thank you ever so much, Renshi Dan.
One thing I would add.
Oh, yes, madam.
One thing I would add is when you're doing any katas, is try and remember you are fighting someone. So when you're striking the nose, make sure you're striking the nose. You're not, your hands not over here or up there or down here. Yeah. So just imagine where those strikes are hitting, and then make sure that's where you put your fist, your foot, your arm, or whatever.
If you've got a tall mirror and you can use that, use yourself as your opponent to actually work where your strikes are moving to.
Yeah. I always remind
That is the patch from Yagyu Shingan Ryu.
That's what we're learning. So yeah,
That's what we're learning.
from my karate days, you should always be able to see the person you're beating them up and their reactions when you're doing kata. So if I'm striking a particular way, I should be able to see what that invisible person is doing. So think about it, practice it, and you've got a week. Also look out what the armor looks like. I mean, we all know what modern armor with the breastplates, it's exactly the same, but look at the armor that we're trying to do this in, and that will help you. That will spot where the target areas are. You know I love my particular spots to aim at, but you've got a week. We've got about 30 seconds left. Thank you, everyone. Brilliant. Thank you, Dan. Good to see you, Rhiannon.
Cheers, Dan. Cheers, Dan.
Thanks all. See you all next week.
We will do. Thank
Will
you.
do. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.